Yo, what is going on, guys? So it is time to jump into the next roadmap, and probably one of the one that everybody has been waiting for, the really important one, talking about alliances. Because Alliance Quest and Alliance War are some of the biggest problems for people and cause the most burnout in the entire game. So we're going to be talking about Alliance Quests, Alliance Wars mainly in this video, but there's also a couple other things I want to talk about. And first of all, before we talk about those, since the start of this video, I want to talk about my favorite thing in this whole post that we're going to be getting in the future. So there's a lot of stuff to go over. That's why I wanted to touch upon this first so it doesn't get lost in the video, because I'm really excited for this. So I passed it. It is right here. So under new features, raid bosses. So this is something we want to do for a long time now. The notion of huge battles at the scale deserving of Marvel's epic characters. It's going through some design changes as we speak, and there isn't much detail we can go into now. However, we as a team can't wait to get this in front of you as soon as possible. Here are a few teasers to what we're exploring. Massive scale battles in which the entire alliance will take part. Recharacterizing some of Marvel's greatest foes as a real threat to the battle realm. Unique roles and new ways to play as an alliance, capturing some of the great moments from comic book and cinematic history. Dude, this gets me so excited. I would love to see a big Thanos boss that we as an alliance can fight, and have a whole event for Endgame Thanos, Endgame Thor, worthy Captain America. Oh my god, I want that so badly, dude. This sounds so dope. I'm so excited for this. And there's a couple things here. We're still in the design stage of raid bosses, and we'll be bringing it to you as soon as we have something to play and design. No confirmed launch window. So this is actually really nice. And a lot of the stuff that they're talking about here, they try to give a date of when we can expect it. So yeah, we might as well go through the rest of the stuff down here, and then we'll jump into AQ and War stuff. So, link nodes rework. Currently, in a perfect world, summoners don't interact with link nodes at all. If Alliance members are moving in a timely manner, they offer little to no interaction. We want to encourage players to interact with link nodes in a more meaningful way. What might this look like in the future? They might not just be simply challenging encounters, but instead provide buffs to summoners, champions, if they decide to fight through them. So that's really great. Changing the way link nodes work. These new link nodes would have skill-based challenges, rewarding players to varying degrees depending on their execution. In design, no confirmed launch window. We have an undo button coming, which is, oh my god, thank you. Yes, I can't tell you guys how many times someone has just accidentally clicked on the wrong path, and then that's an entire week of map 7 screwed up from one little mistake from one guy. And it happens more than you might think, and it's just I see some people get mad at it, and I'm like, dude, just relax. It's an accident, it happens, And I've seen it happen a lot of the time to so many people, and it's you want to get mad, but it's such a simple mistake, you can't get mad at someone for it. A lot of the time, I've never made the mistake, but I've come close. When I'll open AQ with one eye open, doing my fights and moving, it's so easy for it to happen. So an undo button is, yes. There's no worse feeling than mistapping on the map and ruining the plans of your battle group. We want to change that. We are exploring ways we can help players that might have accidentally headed down the wrong path to press undo and walk back their unfortunate choice. This is in design, no confirmed launch window, but yes, we need that, man. And then we got some help system improvements. So finally we have the origin of the alliance system. The first point of alliance interaction we all had when teaming up with our fellow summoners, the help system. Or if there's just one button to clear 500 notifications of Noob Master 23 grinding for Korg. What if you didn't want to endlessly tap at one button helping your alliance in war? What if? Scheduled for release in September is the answer. Help all is coming. We've ironed out the technical challenges and finally be bringing this much desired quality of life feature to the contest. That's great. We'll touch upon more of the ending stuff at the end, but let's go back to the top. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of stuff here. So battle group assignments, we already know about that. Top alliance champions, we already know about that. There's gonna be champions that you can put in your profile. Path assignments, this is cool, pretty self-explanatory. In design, launch window aiming for 2020. Defender placements, so the leadership will be able to take champions that you put in your profile and place them for you. InDesign, no confirmed launch window. This is a interesting new thing, a codename AQ Officer. Basically, you'll be able to set up the AQ schedule for the next day, so you don't have to scramble to do it right when the new AQ day starts, which is nice. No confirmed launch window, aiming for 2021. Now let's jump into the big thing, Alliance War. So Alliance War Refresh Season 19 from Kabam Karma. And this guy, I actually met him at Comic-Con, talked to him a lot. He's a really good dude. He's really passionate about Alliance War and wants to make it good. Like all he wants is to make people love Alliance War. And I feel really bad because he's got such a tough job, man. But he's a really good dude, and he really is trying to make Alliance War better. So let's dive into this. There's so much. Last year, the team committed to updating Alliance War on a regular cadence, and the time has come for our annual war refresh. In this update, players will see a map updated across all difficulties, new and updated defense tactics, updated Alliance War season rewards, and a big change to Alliance War matchmaking. Before we get into specifics, there are a few notes I'd like to add. The Season 19 War Refresh has been in the works for a few months now, so it doesn't capture some of the goals and direction that we shared in our first blog post. So this was one of the big things that so many people were talking about, like, this isn't what we wanted for Alliance War. Like, when Season 19 stuff came out, this is not what we wanted. This is not what we were promised. So this has been in the works before they really shared that stuff with the roadmap and the direction they want War to go in. Before the start of Season 19, we will be adjusting buffs and node combinations to address the most difficult and frustrating nodes on the new map. So this is really good to hear. They've already made some changes to Stubborn, the defense tactic, to make it less crazy, so that's good. We understand that wars can be very difficult and stressful, and some players are turning away from the game mode because of it. While the development of this update has been in the works for some time, we are fully committed to making changes much quicker and more regularly to address difficulty and stress. Previously, we've mentioned that AW maps were not designed to be 100% completed. This philosophy came about in a way where many wars resulted in ties and results came down to diversity. In response, we increased the challenges and complexity in Alliance War. Today, we're seeing that this has been pushed too far. This is a problem. While our goal was to increase granularity to avoid ties, the result was continuously pushing difficulty higher. We understand that this isn't sustainable and are looking into different solutions in order to achieve our goal. So that's good to hear. Everything below is coming to our Season 19 War Refresh. Let's explore the reasons behind these changes. So an update to the map, introduce new challenges for players to complete with one another, maintain Alliance War layout rules which allow players to switch paths throughout a war. Defense tactics, we've added attacker bonuses to defense tactics that will help players counter the challenge presented for each tactic and also provide more roster options to deal with them. Moving forward, we will be focusing on adjusting the benefits of attacker bonuses moving forward to ensure that the overall buff is a net positive for the attacker. So this is good to hear. I definitely think so far the attacker tactics need to be beefed up a little bit. I haven't played with them, but just by reading what they sound like. So updated Alliance War season rewards. In Season 19, we added more rewards in the top tiers relative to others, the introduction of new and retuned defense tactics. Something that we're looking into in the near future is how our season rankings are bracketed. That being said, all ranks will see a bump in Alliance War season rewards, and we are committed to updating rewards on a more regular cadence to ensure that these rewards remain relevant and valuable. We will continue to make regular updates to season rewards moving forward. This is really good to hear because right now it's really like every chunk of like a bunch of months they get a big increase, and then months and months and months go by. Big increase, they need to do it month to month, season to season. Really, regular updates to the rewards sounds much better. Updated matchmaking, adjusting matchmaking parameters to put more emphasis on war rating rather than prestige. And in general, alliances should be playing against others based on their war standings, not the ratings of the rosters. And one other thing it says right here, we're also looking to resolve other issues like repeat matching. This is really good to hear because we faced Kenobi twice in the last season. Super annoying to have to play them twice. So yeah. Now, Alliance War pain points. There are a lot of issues we still need to fix with Alliance Wars, and we are committed to resolving these in the near future. This is a list of pain points we want to solve and examples of how we may potentially address them, but in brackets, these are not sure things. But it sounds like their attitude is on the right track for wanting to fix Alliance Wars. It's not in the state that they want it to be in. So they want to change. The difficulty of Alliance Wars continues to increase, the difficulty of Alliance Wars continues to increase, and defense tactics compounds this issue. We've added attacker tactics to defense tactics, and we played it safe with our first pass. We could look into increasing the potency of attacker tactics, giving players more power when opting to use attackers included in the proper tags. Addressing and adjusting difficulty tuning for local buffs and defense tactics quicker, proactively adjust and tune both map buffs and defense tactics each season, address difficult node combos and buffs across all maps. Players are unable to practice against the specific challenges in Alliance Wars in an environment where there are no stakes. Release content well ahead of time to test environment for players to preview. Potentially look into building an area for players to practice specific encounters in a stress-free environment. This sounds amazing, like a sandbox where you build a node, put a champion on it, and basically mimic the war fight that you're about to take to practice beforehand. That sounds awesome. That sounds really cool. That's like dueling going Super Saiyan, man. That's really great. So yeah, I'm excited to see something like that. Costs of wars are high given the competitive nature of seasons and map difficulty. Balancing the current difficulty and complexity of wars would alleviate distress. Defense tactics cause tight champion restrictions and steep learning curves. Could provide more options for attacker tactics. Tune defense tactics to be less champion restrictive. Address season rewards, tuning and bracketing, particular in and around Gold 1 and below, looking into adding a new rank Gold 4 and redistribute number of players in each bracket. Update rewards accordingly, especially for those that have to face defense tactics. So this is really good. Sounds like they're going to increase some more rewards for the lower tiers, which was a big problem with this big last rewards update. So that's good to hear that they're going to be doing that. Because yeah, the rewards were barely increased for the lower tiers, while the rewards for the higher tiers were like multiplied in some cases by like more than 2, which is pretty crazy. So yeah. So with Season 19, Warfresh has not addressed most of these issues, so that's good. They're admitting that they're not hitting the nail on the mark here. We want to assure you that we are looking at specific short-term solutions to address these pain points. Again, the solutions proposed above are just examples while we look into how feasible each of them are. Now, for the future of war, we received a lot of feedback from our community in regards to Alliance War's player experience. Development team agrees that the current format of Alliance War does not live up to what an Alliance versus Alliance mode should be in our game. We are fully committed to taking Alliance War back to the drawing board and redesigning the feature from the ground up. This means that we will be working on a complete redesign of Alliance Wars that will be on the same scale, if not bigger, than the Dungeons to Incursions update. This is really great to hear, man. This really gets me excited for the future of Alliance War. We don't have a specific design to share at this time, but we can talk about our vision for the future and some design principles we want to execute on. So Alliance versus Alliance. Alliance Wars should be one alliance versus another. Create systems where players feel like they are truly working together to overcome other alliances as a team. Create more tools for alliances to craft unique challenges for their opponents to overcome, enabling players more ownership in authoring content for others. That sounds great. Instead of just placing your champions on nodes, maybe being able to pick nodes and stuff. But then again, we don't want it to be too much of a workload for the officers to do before each war. So you need to be able to find a balance there. Implement systems that encourage players to work alongside each other to tackle problems collectively rather than simply pushing forward in an assigned path. Advance in warfare. With our current season structure, losing a single war, even a single fight, can have dire consequences for the individual and the entire alliance. Losing a single war shouldn't feel like you've lost out on the season. This is a big problem, man. Like, sometimes when you die, you just get such a negative feeling, and it just feels so bad. I died 3 times in total last season, all in one war, and I just felt like garbage after that for the rest of the day. It ruined my entire day, and we lost the war. It wasn't like specifically my fault that we lost the war, but I definitely didn't help us not lose the war. So yeah, definitely know that feeling, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have felt that too, and that sucks. So adding progression for both individual players and alliances will provide positive feedback even if a war is lost. That's good to hear. Not sure exactly how they're going to do something like that, but interested to see it. Progression increases power, but more importantly unlocks more options for players. Not sure exactly what that means, but it sounds interesting. Progression increases power. That kind of sounds how like incursions, the further you go, you can pick up more buffs and stuff and you get stronger. Maybe something like that system in Alliance War could be potentially quite interesting. choices for all. In our current landscape of wars, almost all of the decisions are made by leadership. We want to enable more choices throughout the entirety of war and distribute these more evenly for leadership and alliance members. Distribute choices between leadership and individual players. We want individual players to feel like they have some agency and aren't just executing orders. We want to open up more strategic choices to take throughout a war, and that should include more risk-reward options for players and give players the feeling of outplaying their opponents. That sounds great. Becoming a war hero, Alliance War is a team mode, but we want these actions of individuals to be able to turn the tides of battle. Create more situations where individual choices and action can significantly affect the outcome of war, adding more risk/reward decisions for players and celebrate actions when players earn a positive outcome. So all this stuff sounds really good in theory, but they need to actually do it and get it right. But it does seem like they're taking it seriously. And like I said, I know the guy in charge of war. He's a really good dude. So, I hope Alliance War becomes a mode that everybody does like. But that's war. Now let's move on to the other big fish in the sea, Alliance Quest. So Alliance Quest refresh. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here too, guys. So here's a dive into some solutions coming to the contest targeted for a September launch window. Map 7 rebalancing. Map 7 is changing. We've heard the feedback, reviewed the data, and we'll be making some adjustments to painful nodes and fights that just don't live up to our new vision. We're seeing behaviors that aren't fun and forced to use mechanics that are not intended. This isn't what we want. Here's a peek at a few core changes. Mesmerize. One of the most stupid nodes in the entire game, where you get stunned when the opponent evades. It's 7%, but it feels more like 25%. Mesmerize and Mephisto are on their way out. Green Goblin will be taking his place along with Mixmaster plus Prove Yourself as the new lane identity buff. So Mixmaster is much better than Mesmerize. I hate Mesmerize because it's just so random, right? Hate that. So that's a good change. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This is one of the changes I'm most excited for. Captain Marvel is gone. I don't really care that she's gone, but we're tweaking the node to open up many more options to play with and overcome this challenge. That is great, man. I've actually been taking the Can't Stop, Won't Stop lane this week in AQ, and so far I've only done 3 days of it, and I haven't had to use any items, and it hasn't been that hard with using my rank 3 Captain Marvel, but that's a rank 3 6-star. So, yeah, this node is pretty ridiculous, man, and yeah, love to see more options. The options are so limited right now. So yeah, that's a great change, and just this node overall in other content of the game, don't want to see it changed, so that's good. Now Vivified plus Redoubled Determination, we're having the amount of defensive combat power rate for Vivified from 200% to 100%. Thank God, man. Jesus, I took this path with Vivified. It was pretty ridiculous, man, because there are champions like Korg and Killmonger on there. They're replacing them now, which is good. But this Korg with 200% power gain, that's triple power gain. It was just ridiculous, man. It was so ridiculous. Eventually I got used to the path and could clear with no items, but like the first time doing it, it was like, what? Like, it's pretty crazy. Alongside this, we're swapping Redoubled Determination out with Blood in the Water. I'm not exactly sure what Blood in the Water even does, but that sounds more of a smaller change. But yeah, the change of Vivified is great. So champion replacements, we're also switching out a bunch of problem champions from Mordo and War Machine to Captain Marvel and Magneto in Variation 1 with either alternate champions or a freshed up buff profile. So some good changes. The big one missing from here is the Thing mini-boss in Map 7. Thing has Mesmerize. I'm not sure if this change means he's going to lose the Mesmerize node. That would definitely help. But yeah, a little worried that they didn't see anything about that specifically. We're still in the testing and iterating, so there may be small iterations to come, but we're confident in delivering the change and positive impact it will have on the stress of Alliance Quest. We're looking at pushing this live during August as a mini Alliance Quest update. Energy. Here's a really big change coming. Over time, Alliance Quest has become a delicate balancing act in higher tiers of play. Summoners only have so much time to dedicate between the various game modes and content and everyday life. The number of sessions required to perfectly manage your time and energy in Map 6 and 7 is excessive, but that's changing. Energy cap increase. We're increasing the Alliance Quest energy cap globally from 5 to 6. Starting energy increase, we're increasing the starting amount of Alliance Quest energy from 3 to 4 globally, so that's going to apply to every map. And energy timers decrease. We are going to decrease the refresh timer for Alliance Quest energy from 1 hour to 45 minutes. So overall, this is definitely a good change. You're able to cap out at 1 more energy, and now it's 45-minute timers, so definitely a really good change to energy. But I feel like the real problem is linked nodes, and I and a lot of other people in the CCP gave Kabam feedback on this specifically. This was one of the biggest points of feedback, and it doesn't matter if you increase the energy if the link nodes stay the same, because what's the point in having the energy to clear your path if it's still linked? The problem is that you need to line up times with other people to clear your paths, and people can, with time zones, someone could be starting AQ at 3 in the morning and they're not on at the start to clear you. It's a very common problem. So that was the really big problem, is linked nodes. This is a good increase to energy, but linked nodes is the problem. So this will be releasing in July, this change to energy, which is a good change overall, I do think. Now, link nodes. We are making the following balance changes to link nodes in maps 6 and 7, removing the first set of link nodes in maps 6 and 7. That's good, the first set of link nodes. So I think that means section 1, which is good. This is definitely a good change. I would just love to see all link nodes gone in all of AQ on every path, but maybe at the end of each path there is one link on like the mini boss or something. I'm okay with that, but even that, I'd be fine if that was just tossed out the window too. Just get rid of link nodes. But this is a good change, because I think the start of AQ is the worst, because like I said, AQ can be starting for someone where it's like 3 a.m. in the morning, and some people literally set alarms to wake up at 3 in the morning their time just to join AQ. That's pretty crazy. So that's definitely a good change. And then they're going to be restructuring map 6 links nodes to flow more like map 7. But this is only a change to maps 6 and 7. I'd love to see more changes to map 3, 4, 5 on link nodes and at the start. I don't do those, but I feel like the same problems exist in the lower maps as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all this, especially if you don't do map 6 and 7. I'd love to hear the feedback from both sides. If you do map 6 and map 7, how do you feel about this? And if you do map 4 or 5 or 3 or 2 or 1, what do you feel about this? Are link nodes an issue for you as well? Let me know your guys' thoughts and feedback on that. Now, the first set of link nodes in map 6 and 7 will be removed for the mid-season update. However, the link node restructure will take a bit longer. In design, no confirmed launch window. So mid-season update, we're talking about a lot of changes coming in September and beyond, but we also have some changes coming in the very near future. A mid-season update to Alliance Quest in July will introduce a brand new set of epic modifiers, more honor reward milestones, and mini boss changes. Look out for a post on the mid-season update on our forums tomorrow. So that's great. Very interested to see that. Epic modifiers. Very interested to see what kind of rewards we're going to be seeing from that. Because right now we get T5 basic from that, so an epic version should be interesting. So Alliance Quest future. Now for the broader future of Alliance Quest, we're going to explore the core principles that are guiding new feature development and the flavor of content evolution. We hope to bring aspects of these features online in the near future, but this is a long road, and many of these bigger ideas will evolve over time and is something we want you to be part of and help shape the future of Alliance Quest. Seasons. One of the main goals we have is for alliances to challenge themselves, not pit them against other alliances in rank reward races. With this goal in the front of our minds, seasons really don't really make sense in their current state, so we are looking to revamp them and what they mean to you. Seasons that fit into your life and don't clash with other seasonal content. Seasonal content that creates unique internal alliance gameplay and not pitting alliances against each other. This is great, save the alliance fighting for alliance war. Unique gameplay that provides a reason to come back and experience something new, not just more rewards to chase. Alliance Quest challenges. The new direction we want to focus on is custom content creation. Provide alliances with the means to build the challenge they want with the rewards, time, investment, and difficulty to match. New challenges to overcome based on your choices, capturing a choose-your-own-adventure experience for Alliance play, a truly unique feel when compared to Alliance War and other Quest content. Cooperation is king, more cooperation, less coordination. focus more on cooperation and organic communication between players, and interesting actions and risk versus reward when playing with fellow Alliance members. Champion usage. We want Alliance Quest to be a place where users can experiment with the new champions they have acquired without necessarily letting your team down in the process. More freedom to bring in the champions you want, not the ones you need. Rewarding roster exploration and champion diversity with RPG counters for fun, not as a bottleneck or a roster check. So that's all sounds like pretty good stuff, man. Right now, paths in Map 7 are so specific that only like a couple champions can do it. Like Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Like Do You Bleed. They can be pretty crazy. And you pull a new champion, you want to play with them, but you can't because certain paths you need very, very specific counters to. So none of these principles have features attached yet or any release dates. But that's what they want for the future of Alliance Quest. So that sounds interesting. It definitely sounds interesting. But again, it's if they can really pull it off and execute all this stuff. But that's it for Alliance Quest and Alliance 4. And like I said, the raid bosses, that's what I am most excited about, man. It could be so cool. Talked a little bit about the link nodes already, the undo button, the help system. So we've read about some truly brilliant features coming to Alliance play in the short term, with a big focus on reducing the stress and commitment that alliances can mean for everyday life. In the long term, the team has bold ambitions to evolve both Alliance War and Alliance Quest into fresh social experiences that deliver fun gameplay, deep collaboration, and spicy competition, all while rewarding you with the best rewards in the contest. We're hyped for the future of Alliances, and we can't wait to reveal even more over the coming months. Join us Wednesday as we take a deep dive into the future of Champions. Really excited to see that, the MCC dev team. So that was a lot of information for Alliance Quest and Alliance Wars. Let me know what you guys think of all this. Is this what you were hoping for? Were you hoping for something else? Let me know exactly how you guys are feeling about this, about all these changes. And that's going to do it for my breakdown and my thoughts on all this. Again, it all sounds pretty good in theory, but it's going to really be if they can execute it and actually make it happen in reality. That's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like. If you guys want me to keep making these type of videos, let me know. If you don't, also let me know. I appreciate all feedback. If it's negative, keep it constructive criticism. No need to bring in like hate into it. I really do appreciate constructive criticism though. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Peace out.